Ancient Egypt originated along the Nile River over 5,000 years ago. Annual Nile floods deposited fertile soil, enabling crop growth and the rise of cities. The Nile River was the lifeline that supported ancient Egypt's development and formation of kingdoms. Around 3100 BCE, Upper and Lower Egypt were unified by the first pharaoh, Narmer. This unification marked a significant turning point, leading to Egypt's blossom into one of the most advanced civilizations. The unification under Narmer created the first African empire in recorded history. Ancient Egyptians innovated extensively, developing papyrus and surgical tools. They excelled in mathematics, astronomy, and created a 365-day calendar. Egyptian architectural and engineering feats, including hieroglyphs, inspired generations. Ancient Egyptian culture centered on Ma'at, embodying truth, justice, and cosmic order. The Egyptian pantheon included gods such as Ra, Isis, and Osiris, each governing different aspects of life and the afterlife. Belief in an afterlife influenced burial practices, including mummification and internment, with treasures to aid the journey into eternity. Ancient Egypt produced notable rulers such as Thutmose III, Akhenaten, Hatshepsut, and Tutankhamun. These pharaohs were considered living gods, wielding significant power and influencing the course of their civilization. Their legacies are preserved through statues, paintings, and battle scene depictions, demonstrating their profound impact on Egyptian history. The alignment of the pyramids with the stars and the methods used to move massive stones remain mysteries. Legends speak of the Book of Thoth, rumored to contain knowledge that could elevate humans to godlike status. Speculation exists regarding ancient connections between Egypt and other African civilizations, like Nubia and Ethiopia. Ancient Egypt experienced invasions from Persians, Greeks, and Romans, leading to political shifts. Despite foreign influences, Egyptian culture maintained its distinct African identity. The resilience of Egyptian culture demonstrates its ability to withstand external forces. Ancient Egypt profoundly influenced global knowledge and symbolism. Greek philosophers studied in Egypt, absorbing advanced concepts in mathematics and science. The pyramids became enduring symbols of power and architectural ingenuity, inspiring structures worldwide. Egypt's legacy continues to shape modern society through its foundational contributions to mathematics, medicine, writing, and architecture. These advancements, originating from the heart of Africa, underscore Egypt's pivotal role in the development of human civilization. Egypt's contributions have had a lasting impact on global culture and knowledge. The pyramids of Egypt stand as enduring symbols of ancient African civilization. These structures represent a rich history and advanced architectural achievements. The backdrop of stars emphasizes the timeless and enduring nature of African heritage. A montage of diverse African faces represents the breadth of African cultures. Pan-African visuals emphasize the interconnectedness of these cultures. The montage underscores the unity and collective heritage of the African continent. Subscribing to Echoes of Africa provides ongoing access to educational content about African history. The platform explores African empires, heroes, and untold stories. Continued learning helps rewrite the narrative of the motherland through exploration and education. Ancient Egyptians valued cleanliness, practicing daily bathing and using soaps made from animal fats and chalk. They commonly shaved their bodies and wore linen clothing to stay cool in the hot climate. Perfumed oils and deodorants were widely used across different social classes to maintain a fresh scent. Bread and beer were dietary staples in ancient Egypt. Bread was commonly made from coarse grains and served as a primary food source. Beer provided nutrition and a safer alternative to water, even for children. Ancient Egyptian women possessed significant legal rights, including property ownership and business management. Children in ancient Egypt commonly did not wear clothing until adolescence. Religion permeated daily life, featuring numerous gods and rituals performed in both temples and homes. Ancient Egyptians valued love and companionship within marriage, typically practicing monogamy. Mutual respect between partners was emphasized, with deep affection and emotional bonds evident in ancient love poems. Divorce was permitted, but fidelity was encouraged, especially among the elite classes. Senet was a popular board game in ancient Egypt, played by individuals of all ages. More than mere entertainment, Senet symbolized the journey to the afterlife. The game reflected ancient Egyptians' beliefs about death and the spiritual world. Ancient Egyptians kept various animals as pets, including cats, dogs, and monkeys. Cats held a sacred status, linked to the goddess Bastet. Harming a cat was considered a serious crime. The practice of burying pets with their owners demonstrates the deep emotional bonds between humans and animals in ancient Egyptian society. Nubia, also known as Taseti or Kush, was a powerful African kingdom located south of Egypt. For millennia, the Nubians engaged in trade, warfare, and cultural exchange with the Egyptians. The Nubians developed their own writing system, built pyramids, worshipped unique deities, and established a royal lineage. In 747 BCE, Nubian King Pa led an army into Egypt to restore order amid civil war and foreign influence. Unlike typical conquerors, Pa revered Egyptian culture and sought to revive its traditions. Pa blended Nubian rule with Egyptian traditions, initiating the 25th dynasty of joint rule by Black African pharaohs. Shabaka, brother of Pa, reinforced Nubian authority in Egypt through temple reconstruction projects. Shabaka preserved ancient texts, including the Memphite theology, contributing to the intellectual heritage. Taharqa, a Nubian pharaoh, led a golden age marked by extensive temple construction and trade expansion. The Nubian pyramids, located in El Kuru, Nuri, and Meroe, are testaments to a powerful ancient kingdom. These pyramids, smaller and steeper than their Egyptian counterparts, reflect a unique blend of Egyptian influence and distinct African identity. The pyramids showcase the advanced culture and iron smelting capabilities of the Nubian civilization centered in Napata and Meroe. European colonial historians often denied Africa its rightful place in world history, leading to the erasure of the Black Pharaohs' historical narrative. This denial resulted in the omission of these kings from many historical texts, obscuring their significant contributions and leadership. Contemporary scholarship is actively working to correct these historical inaccuracies and restore the Black Pharaohs' legacy. African historians and archaeologists are dedicated to restoring the truth about the Black Pharaohs. The rediscovery of figures like Taharqa and Pa challenges colonial myths and highlights African greatness. Recognizing the Black Pharaohs proves that Africa was a center of leadership, innovation, and civilization. Egypt is geographically situated within the continent of Africa. Historical texts often inaccurately separate Egypt from the rest of Africa, minimizing its continental connection. The geographical placement of Egypt within Africa challenges colonial-era narratives of an uncivilized Africa. Ancient Egyptian artwork portrays individuals with dark brown skin, full lips, broad noses, and tightly curled hair. These physical characteristics in artwork reflect actual African phenotypes, not merely artistic conventions. Historical accounts, such as those from Herodotus, describe Egyptians as black-skinned and woolly-haired, corroborating artistic depictions. Ancient Egyptian language, religion, and art share roots with African traditions. Egyptians practiced ancestor worship and believed in animal-form deities, mirroring other African cultures. Body art, hair braiding, and protective amulets were common adornments in both ancient Egypt and other African societies. During the 25th dynasty, Nubian kings ruled both Nubia and Egypt, uniting the Nile Valley. Kings like Pa and Taharqa led this dynasty, extending Nubian influence throughout the region. Taharqa's reign involved conflicts with the Assyrian Empire, reflecting Nubia's significant role in ancient history. Confusion regarding Egypt's African identity is rooted in colonial-era Eurocentrism. European scholars and institutions rebranded Egypt as Mediterranean or Middle Eastern during the 19th and 20th centuries. Colonial influence led to alterations in historical narratives, statue repainting, and curriculum revisions, marginalizing Egypt's African connections. Modern genetic studies reveal strong connections between ancient Egyptians and East African populations. These genetic links reaffirm Egypt's African heritage, supported by scientific evidence. Acknowledging Egypt's African roots restores pride and identity, especially for young Africans. In ancient Egypt, magic, or Heka, was an integral part of everyday life, viewed as a tangible, divine force. Heka connected the visible world with the spiritual realm, explaining illnesses, dreams, and unusual events. Doctors, priests, and even kings recognized and interacted with Heka, acknowledging its power and influence. Egyptian priests and scribes functioned as professional magicians, trained in sacred rituals to harness Heka. They performed spells for healing the sick, created curses, and wore protective amulets. These magicians bridged the gap between the mortal and spiritual worlds through their mastery of Heka. Curses inscribed in pharaohs' tombs warned intruders of dire consequences. The tomb of Ankh-Mahor threatened impure entrants would be devoured by crocodiles, snakes, and hippopotamuses. Mysterious deaths following the opening of Tutankhamun's tomb fueled speculation about the power of curses versus coincidence. The Book of the Dead is a collection of over 190 spells intended to guide the deceased through the afterlife. These spells facilitate actions such as speaking, safe passage, and attempts to overcome death in the underworld. The deceased were equipped with spells, maps, and passwords to navigate the challenges of the afterlife. Magic permeated everyday life in ancient Egypt, extending into homes. Pregnant women wore charms shaped like the hippopotamus goddess Taweret for protection during childbirth. Children wore necklaces of lion teeth to ward off evil spirits. Egyptian magicians utilized inks made from crushed beetles and soot for writing spells. Ivory wands carved with protective symbols were used as tools in Egyptian magic. Sacred oils, incense, and crocodile fat were among the ingredients employed by Egyptian magicians. Heracleion served as Egypt's primary port, larger than Alexandria, and the gateway to the Mediterranean. The city housed temples dedicated to Amun and Hercules, adorned with colossal statues and sphinxes. A catastrophic earthquake and rising sea levels led to Heracleion's submersion in the 12th century BC. Pi Ramesses, constructed by Ramses II, served as the capital of Egypt during the New Kingdom, showcasing advanced urban planning. The city housed opulent palaces, chariot stables for 500 horses, and bronze weapon factories, indicating its military importance. Shifting Nile channels led to the city's abandonment, with remnants now buried beneath modern fields and towns, as revealed by ground-penetrating radar. Akhetaten, now Amarna, was founded by Pharaoh Akhenaten to promote the worship of Aten, the sun disk, as part of a religious revolution. Akhenaten's religious reforms involved banning traditional Egyptian gods and establishing a new monotheistic religion centered on Aten. After Akhenaten's death, priests and elites systematically destroyed his legacy, leading to Akhenaten's abandonment and obscurity. Zawiet el Aryan, located between Giza and Abu Sir, is currently a restricted military zone. An unfinished pyramid and mysterious underground granite vats are located within this restricted zone. Limited research access has left the purpose of the granite vats largely unknown. Tanis served as the royal necropolis for the 21st and 2021 dynasties. Tombs in Tanis rival Tutankhamun's in wealth, featuring gold masks and silver coffins. Discovered in 1939 by Pierre Montet, Tanis's significance has been overshadowed by Tutankhamun's fame. Satellite imaging reveals the potential existence of hundreds of lost settlements buried beneath the Egyptian desert. Ground radar technologies corroborate satellite data, indicating buried structures and urban layouts. Many ancient Egyptian cities predating the pyramids remain hidden, awaiting future archaeological discoveries.